And there's already, oh yeah, and already, and I think, and I think to keep in mind for the review is that I have not completed the game. I haven't seen the ending of the game. I think there's only one ending, or at least there's an ending that I heard is controversial. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So this is also coming from that perspective, but I'm allowing myself to have spoilers also to have a very big perspective on things. Like some characters that I've yet to meet, I think, or I think we have met all the characters by now. Well, we met Cersei last time, but that didn't happen anymore. It's gonna have to re-happen, so to speak, because I had to exit the game and I couldn't finish that run. I guess I should have just let Prometheus kill me. Maybe I should have just done that. Anyway, let's begin talking about the graphics of this game. We are not judging it, obviously, in terms of a GTA 6 or hyper realistic graphics that ooh. Are you forgetting you're in a video game? No, because there's an art style, and in that art style is fantastic, absolutely beautiful, wonderful, so well done. Um, Whether we're looking at the overworld like this or the character models is done so well. This maybe goes a bit outside of the graphics territory, but I appreciate all the designs for all the characters so freaking much. Like their outfits and everything. Melinoe. Like, I love the outfit. Every time I keep seeing her, I'm like reappreciating it. They're all very elaborate, but they all work so well. They're done so well. Hecate, lots of fun every time to see her. Or Karen, etc., etc. Dora, I love what they did with her design that I didn't even notice at first. Like the animal-like paws, the cat-like paws, if you will. I don't think they're meant to be cats necessarily, but maybe I'm biased because I'm a cat boy and we're all about cats on the Selfie Gaming channels. I don't know. Maybe it's that. I only noticed it until later. But yeah, Dora is such a vibe. That's why I'm like going for the most hearts with her before anybody else in terms of the nectars and everything. But yeah, we'll need to get other things for the grinding in the game. But the graphics, if I were to give them a rating, I want to give them a 10 out of 10 rating. Not only is each voice so much fun to listen to, like also the actors are just doing a great performance. I mean, they're all great voice actors. I don't know the names of any of them. I think I haven't checked them if there's anywhere to check in game for that. Outside of the game, I haven't checked either because I get curious sometimes, right? I did it for Crossworlds and I was like, oh, that voice did this. I didn't know, and I like that I didn't know, and I already liked the voice anyway. But voice acting is fantastic. Everybody is just killing it. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a voice actor name that I know somewhere already. And those that I don't know, let them have multiple jobs over and over and over. You know? Just with so many video games, I want to keep hearing their fantastic voices. All the characters are done so well. Filters are added to more than a few of them because they're gods. They gotta have Echo, Boom. Well, I want to say Echo because there's Echo, the nymph here, and that's different. Echo. Reverb is the word. I think reverb is what I was talking about. I mean, reverb, much like this one, because I am a god of Olympus, or an entity like that. Or there's Titans as well, but yeah, you get the point. You get the point. Music. The music is absolutely fantastic. You can buy the soundtrack on Steam. At the very least, I keep saying that I want to listen to it in like a music service. It's got to be there on YouTube Music because even if it's not uploaded like as music tracks, somebody uploaded them as videos, so that's always my choice. We're not sponsored by YouTube Music; it's just my preference. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's there in Spotify, Deezer, etc. So like, if I feel like maybe I should speak only for myself, but I also want to say, if you ever hear somebody reviewing a game and they say, or not even reviewing it, but they say, I want to listen to the music about the game. I want to listen to the music outside of the game. It's a huge praise to the music. Or maybe the sound effects are just so bad that they can't hear the music, but then there's volumes. I had to reduce the hell out of the sound volumes effects because a lot of the time the voice volume, and I even reduced the music volume a little bit, right? Let me see what settings I gave it exactly. Yeah, this is how we set it up. Because you couldn't really hear the voices. They were a little bit lower than I would like them to be. And especially when you first have a dialogue with someone, there's a sound effect that, where the screen shows up, like, well, not like that, but you get the point. And as they immediately begin talking, as that sound effect is finishing, you kind of don't hear what they say at first. It's all right there. There's a dialogue box for what they're saying, but still, minor issue. So I had to change the audio like that. So overall, I guess it's a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10-ish for the audio. Just high praise for it. I need to listen to the songs. I'm already kind of learning skill and the sirens. But yeah, figuring a bit into accessibility, you can also have subtitles for the music, and that's also what made me learn it. If we are going to do... no, I think we are going to go to the surface. I was going to say, if we are going to do an underworld run, then yeah, we might have a chance to sink it again, but I think no. Let's talk about difficulty for this game. Difficulty for this game. High difficulty. I don't think it gets to a Dark Souls level, in my humble opinion, but I don't know. I hesitate with that sometimes. I feel like I don't want... Dark Souls is not the term. Let's use just high difficulty, which is where Dark Souls is for me, but also things such as Cuphead, Kaizo, you know, mods of Mario games, things like that, or, you know, levels in Mario Maker. I want to be the guy, I want to be the Bashi. Or the toughest Mega Man game you can think of, which already are tough, but there's some that take it far. I've heard Mega Man and Bass. Or is it Bass? Anyway, Mega Man and Bass. I don't know. I hesitate with that sometimes. I feel like I don't want... Dark Souls is not the term. Let's use just high difficulty, which is where Dark Souls is for me, but also things such as Cuphead, Kaizo, you know, mods of Mario games, things like that, or, you know, levels in Mario Maker. I want to be the guy, I want to be the Bashi. Or the toughest Mega Man game you can think of, which already are tough, but there's some that take it far. I've heard Mega Man and Bass. Or is it Bass? Anyway, Mega Man and Bass is an extremely difficult game, like ridiculously difficult. But, you know, just so you don't think I'm thinking about a Souls-like thing, that's more like gameplay rather than difficulty, you know? That's a different thing we're talking about. No, it doesn't get to Dark Souls level, but because it's about runs, you will be expected to die a lot. It's in the nature of roguelite, it's in the nature of roguelike. Arguably. There are some that are very kind about it, and you finish a run, quote-unquote, while, you know, you go on to another one that's different. One may argue a game like Stardew Valley is a roguelite because you have a different run every day. Sometimes there's a special event. That's more of a calendar thing there, but if you think about it, sometimes special cutscenes happen here in Hades 2 that change your run, and you don't quite continue with it as normal. Like when Chronos takes you to like a pocket dimension or whatever it was, although that doesn't affect the run. It's just, well, you can die in there, but it's a bit different, right? Now we're starting to get into the terminology, what actually is a roguelite or roguelike. But yeah, what makes this roguelite is that you keep unlocking new things, and it's not a fresh start every time. I mean, it is, but also there's things you unlock permanently that help you with each run. And something that helps with difficulty immensely, that many of those other games I mentioned will not have, and they don't want it. They don't want to have it. They don't need to have it for that reason, is God mode. God mode. I went to accessibility because to me it feels like accessibility. God mode, don't let the name fool you. It does not, because I let it fool me at first. I thought that it would just make you invincible, that it's like cheating, you know, like putting a command on a game that allows you to put commands where it's like no damage, you know, unlimited ammo. There's no such thing as ammo here really, but unlimited magic. That's what I was thinking about, something like that. No. It's going to give you 2% each time you die, up to a limit of 80%, which you can even lower. I say I don't go for high difficulty games like a Dark Souls, like a Cuphead or what have you. But at the same time, I didn't want to make it just be a walk in the park, unless I just could never finish it and I spent 300 hours already, and I'm like, okay, let's just see the story now. But that such option doesn't exist here, which is great too, because I guess I didn't want it to be there. I guess it might be nice if there is one, maybe, but I haven't died enough times that I've gotten to 80%. What are we at right now? 32% or something? 80% has got to just make a huge difference on what this does. And so, yeah. This is amazing that they have this, and they don't They're not talking you down for using it. They tell you failure is the greatest instructor of all. Like, hey, you're going to be replaying this a lot. Enjoy the grind. It's all about the grind, which we'll talk about in a moment. But no, that helps the difficulty immensely. So I'm going to say, do we want to use, I kind of want to use a different scale for difficulty based on some games that used to have this. I don't know if any games do this anymore, but an 8-star system or 8 asterisks or whatever, with 8 being hardcore, and then I use 9 out of 8 for something like a Dark Souls or Kaizo, right? No, it doesn't get there. It doesn't get there here. But I'm gonna say this is it's a 7 from what I feel the difficulty is. If you don't have God mode, maybe it goes to 8, especially when you get to final boss fights and all that. But then when you use God mode, it becomes 6, and it probably becomes 5, maybe even 4, all the way down there, maybe even further down than 4. Because as I've been saying every single stream for Hades 2, and this is the biggest thing I gotta say about difficulty in God mode, when you activate God mode, you're not making this game easy. You're making it easier, but also you're turning a hard difficulty game into a normal difficulty game, or a medium difficulty game, let's say, because normal for this game is hard. You're going away from that. Alright, grind. The game wants you to grind. It's a roguelite, right? It's a roguelike, but I gotta praise the grind they gave you because you can just keep going for weapon upgrades. There's things you keep doing in the cauldron to wake up Hypnos the god, to keep developing your relationships with people. Well, that's not the cauldron, that's more like Nectar. There's all sorts of different long-term goals to grind for. I think that a lot of video games have to do these days, or maybe arguably they've had to do for a long time, maybe since their inception, is that you need to have short-term goals and you need to have long-term goals. You need to make players feel rewarded. This is arguable, of course. Not saying this is like in the gaming Bible of rules of the universe or anything, but you need to have short-term goals that the players can feel rewarded about. In a run, let's just go for the next reward. Let's beat Hecate. But before that, let's do other things. Okay, we beat Hecate. Now we want to make it to Kronos, but before that, we've got to beat Skill and the Sirens. We got to beat Cerberus. The sub-bosses, or, well, not sub-bosses, the bosses of each zone, of each area, right? But otherwise, yeah, like, you have those as short-term goals. What do you have for long-term, where it really pays off? Many of those things pay off in your run because they make you more powerful, even without God mode. Some of them, they don't make you more powerful in a run, but they advance the story. And they did a great job putting that in the story right there. The grind is a lot. It's very high grind. Because there's some things that are so long-term, I know they're going to take a while. I don't know how many of those, like, powders, dream powders, I think they were called, is going to take to wake up Hypnos. Is there in the guides on the website? The grind is just a lot, but it needs to be a lot. Because the game also does such a great job of making me have fun with the differences in each run, that I want it to make me play it more, for more grind. For the fun of it is just great too, but at this point, yeah, 2025 video games, I'm a sucker for this sort of thing. I feel like I gotta have some progress on things as well, to also help with that. We need both. We just need both sides of the coin, so to speak. Alright. So, oh yeah, and in terms of a rating for that, yeah, out of 10, I mean, this doesn't quite figure into a rating of a scale from 0 to 10, I guess, but I will rate it in terms of, like, it does the grind right. And so, as a 9 out of 10, it does the grind as it needs to do it. Through a new gameplay that I did pay attention to. But alright, let's talk about the story then, as I figured we would say right after talking about the grind. Because it figures into it. There's grind for the story that you keep going for, right? The story is just really damn good. I mean, I'm gonna give it a rating already because it's very elaborate, and I haven't even seen all of it. There's a lot I haven't seen. Like, even after we have the ending of the game, it's probably gonna be gameplay you have afterwards, right? I just don't know what it is. I actually don't. But I'm willing to see the spoilers, or even see them right now on the stream. But no, 9 out of 10 because they just do such a great job with it and it really gets you so interested, so invested, and because you gotta grind to see things such as, oh, what happened with Dora? Let me learn more about her life before she became a shade like this. Let's give her gifts and grind towards it, right? I gotta grind towards the next gift because I can't even give her what the next gift is gonna be. Oh, also, keepsakes here. Okay, okay. Just wanted to make sure I had the right one when we start. I run in a little bit. So yeah, just absolutely worth it for story. You want to play this game for the story? You're gonna have a good time. Unless you can't really tolerate the gameplay and you just wanted the story. But yeah. And then replay value for this game, or game time. I just have talked about this with the grind and everything. It's a 9 out of 10 because I feel like there will be a point in which you stop playing. Depends on how much you really want to unlock everything else, how much you just love everything about this game. I still have some keepsakes to work towards. I forgot I wanted to give one to Hephaestus. I gotta try one. So, my goodness, I mean, I guess because it does have an ending of sorts, and I don't mean the ending of the story, so to speak, but there's a peak you can definitely reach. It's not an online game that doesn't have a peak, I guess. Or, you know, it keeps peaking. Like, you reach a peak and then a new one pops up. No reference to the peak game. It's just a term that I've used for a while. It's a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. You'll be replaying it a lot. I actually don't know how many hours it's been. I haven't checked. It's here on the Switch, but it's been quite a few. I don't think we've reached 100 yet, but it's been a lot. Most of them on stream. Most of them, if not all of them. I will say also, in terms of the price, this is absolutely worth the price. It's not a full 80 USD game. Even if it were, though, I would argue maybe it is worth that. Or at least 70 or 60. Let's not inflate the prices too much, either. If you want to wait until it's on sale, sure, but given the price and what you're getting out of it, I say it's definitely worth the price. Buy it at full price.